Hi everyone, it's Vicki. Welcome to my channel and another episode, number 4, of Tasting the States. And this week we are going to be tasting the beautiful Colorado. Now I did a lot of research on what dish to pick for Colorado, and a couple of them are something that I really wouldn't be that interested in eating. So I went with the Denver omelet. It has an interesting history. There's a lot of debate on how it came about. And one of the overall consensuses, though, that I saw was that it was known as a Denver sandwich first because it was something, an egg mixture between two slices of toast. It came about from, I think they were miners, but anyway, a trade that needed to be able to have their lunch in their pocket to get out later. Like pasties, and there's just other foods that have come about kind of from that same mentality of needing something to take into the mines or whatever that they can, just pull out and eat. Anyway, so that's how it kind of came about. Who invented it? There's a lot of debate on that as well. There's one school of thought that says these two men who had a restaurant came up with it, although in what I'm seeing, the timing would have been a little late, in my understanding. Another was that the Chinese railroad workers, and that one has a little more believability because they think it was sort of like an extension or a change of egg foo young. So, but then again, I kind of wondered about the timing on that. And then the first one is, of course, what I spoke to before, which was the miners needing a pocket lunch. So supposedly it started out as kind of like a scramble. And I almost made that instead because that sounded kind of good. But no, I'm going to stick with the traditional omelet. And when I say traditional omelet, I mean that very loosely because, there's the French omelet, which is a very soft kind of wet more. That's when I first learned to make omelets, was that way, and I didn't really care for them. I didn't think I liked omelets as a result. And then there is, all the way on the other end, is what I call the diner omelet, where all the veggies and everything are mixed in with the egg, and it's not really a scrambled egg, but almost like a compressed scrambled egg. And then at the diner, they maybe throw some cheese on it last moment, flip one side, flip the other, and that's how you get that long kind of rectangular omelet. There's that one, which is okay. I mean, I've eaten plenty of them. A little dry for me, but then there's the third type of omelet, which I'm just going to call it the home cook omelet. I don't know. And that is where it isn't cooked as hard and flat and condensed as a diner omelet, but yet it's not as wet or soft as a French omelet. And that's what I'm going to make today. Now, you could put all your fruits or your veggies. I have made a fruit omelet, actually. It was very good. You can put all your veggies and meats and cheese or whatever, or at least the meats and cheese, or meats and veggies, into the egg mixture, or you can add that in between and or on the omelet, and then flip the omelet over halfway, fold it. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, can't talk today. But anyway, and I kind of like doing a mixture of the two. I like to take, like today's omelet, the Denver omelet has peppers and onions. So I like to do that cooked in with the eggs. I like to cook them first and then put the egg mixture in. And then when I get ready to put it in the oven, yes, I put it under the broiler. Then that's when I add meat and optional cheese. Originally it doesn't really come with cheese, but my husband really likes it with cheese. It's very popular when you go to a restaurant. They'll usually ask you if you want cheese with it. So that's how I'm going to make it. I'm going to have the veggies in the egg mixture, and then I'm going to place my meat and my cheese on it, and then under the broiler to finish it off. And it makes it puff up a bit. You'll see. All right, so what are we going to need for this? I left one ingredient out as usual. Okay, so we're going to need either half and half milk or water, just a little, not a lot. We're We're gonna need eggs. I'm gonna make a big omelet. It's gonna cover the whole pan, and that's what I usually make for us. And then we split it. I eat like a third and he eats 2/3. So you'll need 5 eggs for that size. Go with a smaller pan, single omelet, 3 eggs, 2 eggs, whichever you prefer. I don't like a really thin omelet. Even if I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, I'd rather it still be bigger and puffier. You're gonna need, for a Denver omelet, ham, chopped ham. That's what's preferred. Bell pepper. I think the red ones look the best in it, but you could do green, you could do yellow, you could do orange. Onion, of course. And like I said, the optional cheese. There's also one other option that isn't part of the recipe, but it's something that I like in an omelet and I happen to have on hand. So I am going to put some mushrooms in here. And yeah, don't come at me if you're from Denver or you're an omelet specialist. But we just like them, so I'm going to make it that way. So let's get chopping and then we'll get cooking. I spared you the chopping part. Chopped onions make my nose run, so yeah, didn't want that on video. All right, let's crack some eggs. 1, oops, forgot to open the garbage can. 2, phone is blowing up. 3, 3 on the floor. Oh no, it's 4 on the floor. I thought I had something going there. 2 different kinds of eggs. Hopefully there'll be no explosion. And everybody will get along just fine in the bowl. As you can see, two different things. All right, so we got our eggs. Now we're gonna do try not to step on the shell. We are gonna do some half and half. Now I always did water because that's supposed to make them fluff up the most. But hubby likes like this because he says it's creamier. So, and then he likes a lot of black pepper. I'm not going to overdo it there. And then I've discovered when I use garlic salt in a meal, he always really likes it, whatever it is. So I'm going to put a little garlic salt in the eggs. A lot. Oh, paprika. See, I always forget something. I like paprika. So I didn't put a lot in there. All right, so I got my big ass whisk is what I call it. Sorry. I bought it at one of those professional kitchen shops back in the 80s. Well, not really professional, but you know, back in the 80s when kitchen shops were a thing. And I really love this one. I'm gonna whisk them until I can't tell the light yellow from the dark yellow eggs. Isn't as much as it sounds like. Maybe if they were the extra large or something. All right, so now let's go heat up some oil on the stove. So I noticed in my other videos, once I start to cook something, that the camera is picking up all the cooking noise. So I probably won't say a lot during this, but basically I had leftover bacon grease from this morning and I added a little olive oil to extend it. Hubby likes his cooked in butter. However, I'm going to make this in the bacon grease. He really likes that. He just doesn't know it. And this is about 1/4 of a pepper, a bell pepper, red bell pepper. Red's my favorite. It's got the most flavor. And then just, you know, as far as mushrooms, onions, any other veggies you're cooking, just with your heart, how much you want. And I have it, I don't have it medium high, I have it a little lower than that. It's still above medium. Okay, my onions are getting a little brown and everything else is getting ready, so let's just pour our egg mixture in. I may have over vegetable. But this is how I make it. Yeah, I like bell peppers. Okay, so then I move. Now, normally I am going to pick this up and tilt it, but because I'm holding a camera, I don't have any kind of tripod that would do this for me, then I can't do that. So I'm going to put you down so I can then go to the 4 other sides I didn't get and do the same thing. Okay, I just kind of keep doing that until I don't have a whole lot of wetness left on the top. I need something hot pad. I did not burn one. Let me just grab a towel here. I use the big burner and it has lots of heat on the handles. So it has a little bit of liquid on the top, but that's going to be taken care of in the oven. Okay, I have the broiler on. Unfortunately, my broiler, you have to have the oven door closed for it to work, so we're going to have to close that up. I'm just going to put it in there for a couple minutes. Okay, so I try to catch it before it's completely cooked on the top. I probably could have taken it out 30 seconds earlier. All right, so it is done on the top. I guess here's a little softness. You want just a little bit of softness, but not quite like a French omelet. So I'm going to put all the meat on one side, because if you put it all over, then when you turn the thing, it just spills anyway. Get a better further away shot here. And hubby he's quite the carnivore, so here's a lot. All right, so let's put some cheese on it. And I got this, I showed you a different cheese, but I decided to go with the whole milk mozzarella. I think it'll just go better with the ham. I mean, the other's fine too. They're all fine. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we're going to put this back under in the oven again. The broiler is off, but there's some residual heat. So I'm just going to put that in there for a minute. All right, so I'm just going to turn that, oops, I don't want that with the broil. So I put the broil back on, but I do want to watch it. It's not going to do its job with the door open, not very well at least. It says it doesn't do it, but it does a little bit. All right, I'll check on it in 30 seconds, I guess. Yeah, that's why I got the mozzarella. I like the way it melts. You see how it's turning up from the edges of the pan? That's how, when you make one this way, under the broiler, it does. It's really easy to slide out usually. All right, that's all I'm going to leave it. Cheese is hot enough to where when I flip it over, it should be okay. All right, see if I can do this one-handed. I don't know if I ever have before. Okay, it's sticking on me here. All right, there we go. That looks like a pizza. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit brown, but that's from, that's okay. That's how they look when you make a what I call a diner style. They're always kind of brown. All right, so we have our omelet. I always like to garnish with a little bit of whatever's inside on the top of it. And I forgot to pull out some of the bell peppers. So yeah, it's very cheesy, as you can see, but that's how hubby would like it. I'm just gonna have a few bites of it. I'm really not hungry. And if I was going to eat more of it, and I'm going to make wings, because tonight is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on Monday Night Football. So I'm going to make wings and a couple other finger foods. So I don't want to eat a lot of it. But normally I would have put cheese on one side and none or barely any on the other. But let's take a bite. And you can see how fluffy it is made this way. So here we go. Very tasty. It's probably the right amount of seasoning for most people. So let's talk about some facts about Colorado. Well, maybe I'll have to have another bite. You know, I really like them too when I put we're getting off a Denver omelet now just into, I call them refrigerator omelets. I often make an omelet out of whatever we have. And a tomato cut up after it's cooked, and you put it in there before you fold it. I think a diced tomato in there really brightens it up. Oh, I got some cheese pull from the mozzarella. I love how it's soft in the middle. even though the outside looks a little bit browned. And that's really, I think, from the way I push the egg aside and I let that thin layer get in there, and it's going to brown up real quick because it's thin when I was pushing it from all the sides. But it's very creamy. Okay. Colorado's a U.S. state in the western United States. We know that, right? Known for its diverse landscape of mountains, forests, and plains. And its capital is Denver. It's called the Centennial State. It joined the Union in 1876, so 100 years. So aptly named the Centennial State. My nose is still, my sinuses are still bothering me from the onion. It's home to national parks like Rocky Mountain and Mesa Verde. The state offers a mix of outdoor recreation, vibrant cities, and growing economy, though it faces challenges like a high cost of living. It features the Rocky Mountains, high plains, mesas, and canyons, encompassing parts of the southern Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains. Its motto is nil, I'm not going to read the Latin, nothing without Providence. And its state flower is the Colorado blue columbine. Oh, I love columbine. It also has Great Sands Dunes National Park. I didn't know that. Park and Preserve. I did not know that. It offers a lot of opportunities for hiking, camping, and exploring, its landscape. Denver is a vibrant urban experience with cultural attractions and a lively downtown area. It has a booming economy with many job opportunities, attracting people for its quality of life. While the cost of living is high, there's also a high quality of life. And the high quality of life presents challenges, including, high cost. Culture, the state boasts a rich cultural heritage and thriving art scenes. The elevation is, I guess well, I'm sure the whole state isn't the same elevation, but it says 6,800 feet. That's a lot for us because I'm at like 40 feet. The state bird is the lark bunting. The population is 5.957 million, and unemployment rate is 4.8. So let's see what are 5 fun facts about Colorado. Denver lays claim to the invention of the cheeseburger. And Colorado is the only state in the U.S. history to turn down the Olympics. Wow. The world's first rodeo was held July 4th, 1869 in Deer Trail. It is truly a mile high. And the Eisenhower Tunnel is the highest auto tunnel in North America. 5 interesting facts. Denver is near the mountains, not in them. Denver has one of the most walkable downtowns in the nation. It has 300 days of sunshine a year. Now that surprises me. I did not know that. Denver's history is short but colorful, and it has one of the most unique city park systems in the nation. I don't know what that means, but and why is Colorado unique? Because 75% of the U.S. land area above 10,000 feet. Wow. And it's part of that Four Corners. I've never been there. I'm sure you've all heard of it. I actually didn't know about it till a few, like in the last 5 years. But there's one point in America where 4 state borders converge. Colorado is the southwest corner where it borders Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Now see, I used to live in New Mexico and I did not know that. And Colorado is named after what? It's not coming up. Okay, well that's probably enough for Colorado. I'm gonna get another bite. This is really nice. I like the mushrooms in it, I have to say. But they aren't really a Denver omelet thing, but oops, look at that cheese pull. But they are definitely a Vicky omelet thing. Guess what's next? Oh! The omelet is such a basic, kind of staple type food. I almost didn't do it, but it's also the reason I did it. As I thought, you might be, when you watch this, you might be coming home from work thinking, oh, what can I make? Well, you can make a refrigerator. If you got eggs, you can make a refrigerator omelet. Even if eggs are the only thing in it. Oh, this is gonna be a little bit of a messy, harder one. But I have to do right by this. It's Arkansas. and that's where I was born. And went to school, part of back and forth. But I ended up graduating from high school in Arkansas. And yeah, so I already know what I put down there, and I told myself when I did it, you know, I never hardly ever make this, and I have never made it well, but I'm going to try it. So just like with this omelet, I have enough to make 2. I'm going to make another one. When I'm going to film it, I always make for 2 in case something goes wrong. So for Arkansas, I'm going to have a pile of food because it might take 3 tries to get it right. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you're from Colorado, comment below. Do you think of this as a local food, or is it just a name game? Because it does have a lot of history. And have a great day.